everybody just remains to kidnap the president now. Everybody's at risk.
All right, guys. More than listing how president need to talk before you go vote for anybody. Listen to wetin they talk before you go vote. Go into your own history. More than see how president they speak boldly. Now this kind of president una need. Everybody need to vote Peter Obi. Listen to his speech. Make you hear wetin they talk so that you go learn before you go vote the day of election. Listen to wetin they talk. Listen very well. Make you hear wetin they talk. Now this kind of president we need to vote. No be person where they shake or we no fit waka. We no fit speak very well. More na we know where they sleep for chair. No be that kind of person need to vote. This is the time to make a rightful choice. Like person like Peter Obi is the best choice among three of them. Listen to his speech where he give. Listen.
Well, like I said, in the short term, issue of insurgents and whether it's agitations and everything, is to sit down and discuss with them. We're in a democratic dispensation. You govern by discussing, you govern by consensus, you govern by... So I will sit down and discuss with every agitator, without exception of them. We must use carrot and stick. I will discuss with those who want to change. I'm convinced that when they have reasons, you have to look at what is causing agitation today. It's issues of injustice, issues that to do with that, where there's the void of fairness, issues to do with unemployment, poverty, everything. When you start addressing these issues and you engage them in a discussion, you start bringing them to the table. No agitator globally, we have seen reason, a convincing argument that things are going the way it should be, will continue to agitate because they're agitating for something. We all have agitators around us. My children, everybody agitates. But we sit down and discuss it, and when they see reason, they agree with me. But to think that you can continue with this injustice, continue with this unfairness, continue with this level of poverty, unemployment, and young people not knowing where the next meal will come from, you're going to have a crisis in your hand.
What about those cases that are in court based on failure of conversations?
Yeah, you haven't that's what I'm saying.
Should you be president?
Everybody. I will discuss with everybody, even if you're in prison.
The point I'm making is that
even if you have been jailed, I will bring you out and we'll discuss. Because there are things you don't end up unless after discussion. That's why I say carrot and stick. We must exhaust reason before we apply stick. It is important. This is a democratic dispensation. You don't get up and just give orders. I won't do that. I will govern by rule of law. I will govern by, say it again, sitting down and discussing with everybody.
Does that include the Jamaat al-Ahl al-Dawat wal-Jihad in the northeast and the indigenous people of Biafra?
I have to find out who they are. Once you tell me it is, if it's you, I'll come to you. I have the exhaust reason. Once you can identify who you are, I'll discuss with you. No matter what you're doing, no matter the type of gun you're carrying, I'll discuss with you. It is after discussing with you that I'll now say there's one government. Because I've been charged. But we must discuss with you first.
Thank you, Excellency. Number 3, what is your...
They too are insecure. Nobody is safe. Not as if they live in a different country. So I don't think there will be a problem. They are kidnapping senators, they are kidnapping legislators, they are kidnapping president, and everybody just remains to kidnap the president now. Everybody's at risk. Governors are running for cover. So we will all sit down because we are now, anarchy consumes everybody. If they throw a bomb here, it will not spare any of us. Nobody knows who. You might take me and share before the people who came to watch us. So it's important that we start. So when it's a problem for everybody. I'm going to sit down and they will see reason in what I'm doing. It is not going to be a government where even the citizens, I'm going to bring both state actors and non-state actors alike together and make everybody see reason why we should save the country and build a better country for all of us, our children and grandchildren.
Thank you, Excellency. The question on security sector governance, what's your view on that?
Well, let me hear your clarification a bit more of what you, because you said you read my documents.
Yeah, but you were silent on security sector governance. In other words, there are, I think, about 27 security departments in the country. Part of the challenge at the moment is that they are not working together.
Bringing them together
And
coordination is there.
Ensuring accountability.
I said we will bring them together, make them work as one, ensuring accountability, ensuring effective service, and making sure they are responsive, and making sure that there's a clear authority. And if there's any failure, deal with it decisively.
Thank you.
Every procurement, be it in the military or in any other sector, will be transparent. We can no longer allow the military or anybody to operate in a different world because we don't have resources. So we're not going to have resources that people can use to do procurement at their own terms. All procurement must be transparent, and Nigerians must be transparent, visible, measurable, and we must get value for that procurement. We must be sure that this thing will bring the value added to it. And I assure you that nothing will be under the table, it will be open. On the issue of what we are going to do to stop kidnapping and everything, is that we need to go out to the root of it. We need to involve communities in securing our country. We need to involve communities in securing our country. I give an example, and I'm sure somebody who is here knew a little bit of what I did in Anambra State. We said, listen, this thing starts from the security, from the communities. I invited every single community. We had about 180 communities in Anambra State. Said each of you must set up a security outfit paid directly by government from my office. I paid them, each paid directly by government, bought all of them a pickup, security pickup, other equipment that was necessary. Told the traditional ruler and his citizen that I hold you responsible if anything goes wrong in your community. If anything goes wrong in this community, we hold you responsible. And we have 180 communities where we have a telephone line connected and everything. If you do anything in one community, within 5 minutes, everybody have received the message and everything. If you have, and then moved on from community, went to local government, the state, working with approved federal agencies, and it became clear within a period of less than 1 year. The difference was clear. We can do the same thing nationally. There's no reason why we should not have local government policing, state policing, and, of course, national policing.
But that has to be enshrined in the law. The Constitution does not recognize that. How would you achieve that?
I just told you what I did without the Constitution. We have to start somewhere before we amend the Constitution, because we can't wait for the Constitution until all of us are kidnapped. We can do this. Forget about what we... I'm not saying it won't come into the Constitution. If I go and do vigilante in the village, you don't need Constitution to start, because people have to secure the people that will make the Constitution. Otherwise, they won't even be alive to change the Constitution. We have to be alive for the Constitution to be changed. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. Using my position as the president today, I will sign. If there's some power for the president, it's not everything that he has to wait. I have to secure the people first. Then we amend the Constitution to suit it.
Would you be considering the 2014 confab and tinkering with it?
Well, that one will come. First is that I must secure the people. Everybody will be alive, including the president. Then we talk about what we are going to implement. I'm not going to wait for anything. Nigeria must be secured, and it must be secured as quickly as possible, whatever it takes.